Hey, I'm gonna do a walkthrough of the official solution for problem 151, reverse words in a string on Leetcode. I'm doing this because I had to walk through to try and understand the second approach, and I figured I still wanted to walk through it again, so I figured I might as well record myself doing it because I'm trying to upload solutions. And keep document of them. So I just wanted to do this in lieu of me having actually figured it out on my own. So we're gonna start with a string. I'm gonna make my string right here, and I'm gonna represent it as a character array. Need one more. Out a little bit. There. Here's our indices. I'm using Sightboard. I like this better than MS Paint. So anyways, we're gonna have a space right here. Go, space, and then two more spaces. And just to make it very clear that it's a space, I'm gonna put backslashes in there. And so just remember, backslash. Space. Okay, so we throw in, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So we throw in our string s, that's s right here. Okay, we throw s into our function reverse word. And first thing we do is reverse using the built-in reverse function. So what does s.begin give us? S.begin gives us an iterator beginning right there. And can I change color? Yes, I can. So I'm gonna have begin iterator right here in red. I'll just do a dot for it. That'll be easier. There's one iterator there, and then s.end gives you an iterator not at the very last element, but after the very last element. And that's important to understanding how reverse works. So reverse is a built-in function. We see, the behavior is described right here. And the important part is while the first iterator is not equal to the last iterator, meaning that while they're not pointing at the same, element, and the first is not equal to the decremented last iterator. So what this means right here, because we have our decrement operator before, that means we're going to decrement first. So left is going to shift over. Left is going to shift over one, and then we'll check to see if they're the same. So, or pointing at the same element. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh geez, I'm getting a call. Okay. So the iterator started here, the blue one. And why don't I just, to make it so I don't have to keep doing this, I'm just going to have a line there and a line here. And okay, so reverse. So while first is not equal to last and first is not equal to last decremented, so put this right here. Then we swap the first and the last. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and swap these two slashes. And I know I didn't need to draw that, but I'm just to be painfully explicit to do that. Okay, and so we keep going. While first is not equal to last and first is not equal to, oh sorry, and you also after the swap you increment the beginning operator. Alright, so while first is not equal to last and first is not equal to last decremented, then you swap. So we're going to swap G and a space. And then we're going to increment our red. Okay, first is not equal to last. We're not pointing at the same element. And first is not equal to last decremented. So we're going to go ahead and swap. This is an M. This is an O. And then we're going to increment. first is not equal to last, first is not equal to the decremented version of last. So we're going to swap a and a space, and then we will finally increment, and first is not equal to last. Sorry, first is not equal to last, but first is equal to last decremented. So now we stop. And you can see that, you know, I could have done this just off rip, but that's how the reverse operator works, or the reverse built-in function works. Cool. Okay, so we did that. That was all line 5. Now we're going to declare some variables. Okay, so I'm going to write them down here. Int n equals s.size, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Int index is equal to 0. Cool. All right. For int start. Okay, so I have another variable, start, and it starts at 0. Start less than, while start is less than n, we're gonna increment start. Okay, so if s at start is not equal to the space, well, it is equal to the space. You know, we're looking at, maybe I should even, I don't know if this works. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so start is 0, s of 0 is space. So what happens otherwise? Nothing. Okay, so since we're in a for loop, we increment start. All right, that's still a space, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip. We increment start again. All right, now s at start is equal to m, so this is not equal to space, so we enter this, you know, if condition. All right, if s at start, oh wait, I already did that. If index is not equal to 0, index is equal to 0, so we're not gonna do anything there. All right, now we're gonna set another variable, int end equals to start, which is 2. Okay. While end is less than n, end is less than n, while 2, okay, well, it's less than 9, and s, the character at the end index, is not equal to a space, we're going to assign whatever is at s end to s index, and we're going to increment both of them. Okay, so s end is, or s index is equal to 0. So s of 0 is going to equal to s end. All right, what's s end? S end is 2. Okay, so we're going to assign m there, and we're going to increment. Sorry, we're not going to. We're going to increment index and end. Okay. All right. So s end is 3. 3 is not equal to a space, so we're going to assign s index, s3 to s index. This becomes an a, and we're going to increment index and end. All right. Okay. While end is less than n, 4 is less than 9, so that's good. And s end is not equal to a space. S at 4 is not equal to a space, so we're going to assign s at 4 to s at 2. So this becomes an h. And then we're going to increment 3 and 5. Sorry, index and end, so they become 3 and 5. All right, 5 is less than 9, and s at end, well, it is equal to a space, so we're going to break out of this while loop, and then we're going to reverse. We're going to do the reverse function from, I'm just going to write it down here. I'm just going to call it rev, starting at s.begin plus, okay, what's index minus end minus start. That, all right, end is 5, start is 2, index is 3, so 3 minus 5 minus 2, well, this is 3. And 3 minus 3 is 0, so we're going to do s.begin plus 0, so s.begin stays where it is, so, you know, this is where the beginning iterator is starting. And then s.begin plus index. What's s.begin plus index? Okay. So s.begin plus index, you know, begin is starting here, so plus index is 3, so we increment 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So this is where the end iterator is starting. Yeah. So now we go to the reverse function again. While first is not equal to last, and first is not equal to the decremented version of last, we swap. Okay? So I'm going to swap H and M. And then I'm going to increment the begin operator. And while first is not equal to last, and first is not equal to last decremented, okay, well, they are the same. So the reverse function is now done. Okay? Now we are here. We assign the start value, the end value to start. Okay? Go ahead and clean that up. And now we go back to the beginning of this for loop. So start is now equal to 5. That's still less than 9, so we continue. All right. If s at start is not equal to space, well, what's s at 5? S at 5 is equal to a space. So we are going to skip this if loop, and we're going to increment start. Okay. All right. If s at start is not equal to space. Okay, well, s at start, which is 6, is not equal to space, so we go in here. If index is not equal to 0, it's equal to 3, so that's not equal to 0, then we're going to assign a space at whatever s of index is, and then we're going to increment index. So index is 3, so s at 3 becomes a space, and then we're going to increment index. This becomes 4. Okay? And then we're going to assign the value of start to end. So end becomes 6. And now we're going to do this while loop again. While end is less than 9, and s at end is not equal to space. Okay, s at end is not equal to space, is equal to the letter, the character O. We're going to assign whatever is at s of end to s of index, and we're going to increment end and increment index. Okay, so s at end is this O letter, s at index is 4, so we're going to assign an O right here, and we're going to increment index and end. Okay, and end is still less than 9, and s of end is not equal to a space, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to assign s at end to s at index. Okay, s at index is 5, so we're going to assign a G there, and then we're going to increment index and end. Okay. While end is less than 9, 8 is less than 9, and s of n is not equal to a space. Well, s of 8 is a space, so we're going to break out of this while loop. And then we're going to do the reverse again. Okay, so what's index minus end minus start? Well, end minus start is 8 minus 6, which is 2. Index is 6, so 6 minus 2 is 4. So we're going to do s.begin plus 4. Let me write that out, actually, just to make what I described clear. Okay, so we're trying to figure out where our beginning iterator is going to go. So, well, what's index minus n minus start? Okay. Well, end is equal to 8. Start is equal to 6. Index is equal to 6. So this becomes, 2. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. So what is s.begin plus 4? That's taking the s.begin iterator, which starts at the first element of the array. I'm not going to do the arrow, just the straight line. And we're going to increment that by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So s.begin goes here. Alright, where does s.end go? Or the end iterator. Well, it's going to be the same as s.begin plus index. So starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So s.end is going to go there. And now we're going to do the reverse operation. So I'm going to go back to that again. Alright, well, first is not equal to last. They're not, that's pointing at the same element. And first is not equal to last decremented. So we shift down there, we swap. We swap these two elements. So we're going to swap G and O. And then we increment our, leftmost iterator because of this line right here. And then we go to the next part of the while loop. While first is not equal to last, well, they are equal, so we break out of this. So we go back to here now. Now we're at start equals end. Okay, so assign whatever is at end to start. Okay. There we go. And then we go to this. Why am I blanking? We finish this if statement, and then we go back to the beginning of the for loop. So we increment start by 1. That's what I wanted to do here. Okay. So now start is equal to 9. And 9 is not less than 9 is equal to 9. So we finish this for loop right here. And then we go down to s.erase. Okay. S.erase. So erases the portion of the string value that begins at the character position POS and spans len characters. I don't think this is the... Yeah, wait, this isn't the one I wanted to... Okay, well, whatever. The point is that, it's going to erase starting at the iterator s.begin plus index. Okay, well, index is 6. So s.begin starts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're starting there. And s.end goes here. Because remember, it's like s.end gives you an iterator after the last element of the array. So we go to, let me go back to, oh, that's why. This seems more like it. Okay. Removes from the vector, or a range of elements I was hoping to see an example like the one for reverse. Okay, here we go. Beginning, so it starts at first and goes all the way up until last, because you know the square bracket means that, you know, like inclusive, and the parenthesis means exclusive for a range. So including the element pointed by first, but not the one pointed by last. So we're going to erase this element, this element, this element, but not this one. So what we finally, now s is equal to this value. And that's what we, you know, this happens at this part right here, and then we return s. So just to show that that actually works, I was gonna write this up and I just decided to take a video instead. All right, let me go to submissions. So yeah, I mean, I just copied and pasted the the solution, and it was accepted, you know. So yeah, that's it. I hope this helped.